Mr. Phil, I keep calling him Mr.
No, that's
Phil.
what Mother's Day is for. Yeah.
All right.
I'll introduce him a little bit after.
Good evening, everyone. It is now 5:36. May we call this meeting to order, Mr. Hill. Today is Tuesday, March 12th, special meeting of the South Euclid Lyndhurst Board of Education, our work session. Thank you for joining us, those of you online, those of you here. We love when we have visitors, so it's good to see you all. And may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Ms. Falkenberg?
Here.
Mrs. Jones?
Here.
Mrs. King?
Here.
Ms. Lee?
I believe Ms. Lee is en route.
Mrs. Shelby?
Here.
All right, we can go right into,
3.1?
we'll do a little reverse-a-roo. We'll deal with 3.1 first, so we can,
Oh, do you want to do the minutes?
you want to do that?
You can do the minutes.
Yeah, we might as well finish. Like, stay in order.
Okay,
do
we'll
it?
stay in order, that's fine.
Item 2.1 minutes, the special meeting of the South Euclid Lyndhurst Board of Education work session, regular meeting of February 27, 2024 will be approved as recorded or corrected. The reading of those minutes will be waived. May we get a motion to approve item 2.1?
Second.
Got, Ms. King? And who was that, Ms. Falkenberg?
Yeah.
All right, any questions or comments?
Just for clarity, we're doing these now every meeting, because we were advised legal to have them, they have to be approved every subsequent meeting. So that's why it looks a
Rather
little
than wait.
different.
So every meeting, and that way you don't put two at a time?
Well, it's, if you're coming together for a meeting, you should be approving
Thank you.
basically the minutes that are available to be approved.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
we can't push, even though it's a work session, we can't push it to the next meeting.
Right.
They've got to be approved at every subsequent
Okay.
meeting.
Okay,
So,
thanks. Glasses on. Getting older, I can't see without these things.
Welcome to the club.
Hearing no other questions or comments, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Mrs. King?
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Mrs. Shelby?
Aye.
And we can go right into item 3.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our March meeting. I'd like to welcome Mr. Ken Lasky, the principal of Adrian, and his students over there who will be showing off some of their work this evening. And I'd also like to greet the parents and families behind us. Thank you for taking time out of this beautiful, beautiful March day to be here with us this evening. We've been taking our board work sessions as an opportunity to highlight some of the great work that our students and our teachers and our administrators do during the school year. And so this evening we welcome Mr. Lasky and his team, and so I will turn it over to you, Mr. Lasky.
Thank you, Dr. Reid. Good evening, board members.
We
Good
are
evening, Central.
Going, let me get a mic for you, because they always say when the presenters don't have mics.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Reid. Thank you, board members, for this opportunity to showcase some of our talents that we have over at Adrian Elementary. Parents and guardians, thank you very much for your attendance and for trusting your children with us over at Adrian. During this past month, we did some studying in correlation with Black history, and the second grade team focused on some artists, some musicians, and talking with Mrs. Korzanowski and Miss Black and Miss Baker, our second grade team, they told me, Mr. Lasky, our kids did an outstanding job, not only of researching our influential historians, but also the collaboration and work that they did with one another, and then putting notes together and even working on speeches as they could prepare for tonight. So it really was a collaborative learning experience that helped in many, many different areas. Right now I would like to introduce Mrs. Korzanowski, who will then introduce our students and begin our first timeline.
Thank you, Mr. Lasky. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So in second grade, one of our social studies standards is to graph time over a calendar or a timeline. So we generally use the month of February during African American History Month to read several biographies about different famous people and then do complete timelines on those people. So we did several of those throughout the month, and then as a culminating activity at the end of the month, To go along with the district's theme of famous African Americans in the arts, we each picked 2 famous people in the area of arts. So my class researched Duke Ellington and Ella Fitzgerald. Mrs. Baker's class researched Maya Angelou and Louis Armstrong. And Ms. Black's class researched Diana Ross and Michael Jackson. So we each picked 2 people. We then utilized Schoology, which is a tool that we have in the classroom. We each established in our social studies classroom a folder for each of those people that we had selected. And as teachers, we picked some resources for them. So we picked video clips, we picked articles, and we put all of that in there, and then we assigned each child a partner so that all kids were able to feel success with this. So maybe kids that struggle with reading or writing were still able to do the research and take the notes because they maybe had a partner that was a little stronger that could help them out. So we paired them up and we had them research both people. We gave them a recording sheet to write down important facts that they found. And then we assigned 12 kids to one person and then 12 kids to another person. And then of those 12, they each got to, as their partners, pick one pertinent event. So everybody should be represented on our 2 timelines per classroom. So each set of partners created an event, they wrote about their event, they illustrated their event, and then we assembled our timelines. So this is what we wanted to share with you this evening, the timelines that we have. So the first thing I'm going to do is introduce the 2nd graders that we brought with us, and then they'll introduce their work to you.
Hello, my name is Reagan, and I brought my parents and sister, Siobhan, Richard, and Taylor.
Hello, my name is Princeton, and I brought my mom, Tiara.
Hello, my name is Mia, and I brought my mom, Anisha. Hello, my name is Asaya, and I brought my dad and my grandma. Hello, my name is Abria, and I brought my dad, Asaya, and my grandma, Lisa. Hello, my name is Jordan, and I brought my mom, Heather. Hello, my name is David, and I brought my parents, Tiffany and David.
Hello, my name is Braylon, and I brought my mom, Tanisha.
Hello, my name is Julie, and I brought my parents, Jessica and Justin, my brother. Hi, my name is Demi, and I brought my mom, Sunny.
Hello, my name is Rael, and I brought my Nana, Robin.
Okay.
All right, so these are the stars of our show tonight. We're going to begin with the timelines that my class did, so we're going to first introduce you to Duke Ellington.
Duke Ellington was born on April 29, 1899 in Washington, D.C. to James and Daisy Ellington. Both of his parents were pianists.
In 1906, at age 7, Duke began taking piano lessons from Marietta Klingscales. He was also very interested in baseball.
In 1943, Duke reached a milestone in his career. He was invited to perform a series of concerts with his band at Carnegie Hall.
On July 7, 1956, Duke Ellington and his band performed at the Newport Jazz Festival. The performance was recorded for his new contract with Columbia Records.
On April 29, 1969, Duke celebrated his 70th birthday at the White House and received the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Duke Ellington died on May 24, 1974, at the age of 75 in New York City. He was one of the greatest jazz artists and composers of all time. Duke Ellington.
And now we would like to introduce you to Ella Fitzgerald.
Ella Fitzgerald was born on April 25, 1917, in Newport News, Virginia, to William Fitzgerald and Temper Henry. She has a younger sister, Frances.
In 1938, Ella recorded a cover version of a famous nursery rhyme. The recording became a huge radio hit and one of the best-selling songs of the decade.
In 1939, Ella replaced Chick Webb as a band leader and renamed his group Ella and her famous orchestra.
In 1947, Ella adopted her only child, her son Raymond Brown Jr., with her husband Ray Brown.
In 1958, Ella won a Grammy Award for Best Jazz Performance. She was the first black woman to win a Grammy Award.
On June 15, 1996, Ella Fitzgerald passed away at her home in Beverly Hills. The world mourned the loss of the Queen of Jazz.
What we learned about Ella Fitzgerald. And now we would like to learn about Maya Angelou. Actually, you can come here. Stand beside me.
Maya Angelou was born on April 4th, 1928 in St. Louis, Missouri.
In 1950, Maya gives birth to her son, Clyde.
In 1963, Miss Angelou became involved in the civil rights movement.
In 1969, Maya Angelou published her autobiography, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings.
In 1993, Miss Angelou recites her poem at President Clinton's inauguration.
On May 28, 2014, Maya Angelou died in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
And that's what we learned about Maya Angelou. Right, oh, well, that's it. We did too much work to be upside down. And now the girls will share with you about Louis Armstrong.
On August 4th, 1901, Louis Armstrong was born in his family's house in New Orleans, Louisiana. In 1918, Armstrong took King Oliver's place in the King Oliver Band to play trumpet. On November 25th, 1936, Armstrong becomes the first African American to get featured billing in a Hollywood film. July 24th, 1947, Louis Armstrong and his Hot Five Band played at Carnegie Hall. In 1964, Armstrong releases Hello, Dolly, which becomes his biggest selling record. July 6, 1971, Louis Armstrong dies in New York City.
And that's what we learned about Louis Armstrong. And now we'll learn about Michael Jackson.
On August 29, 1958, Michael Jackson was born. He was born in Gary, Indiana.
In 1968, the Jackson 5 signed a record contract.
In 1979, Michael released the album Off the Wall. This album was a major breakthrough.
In 1982, Michael Jackson released his album Thriller. It was his first #1 album.
In 1984, Michael Jackson sets a record for receiving the most Grammys.
On June 25, 2009, Michael Jackson dies of a heart attack. He was 50 years old.
And that's what we learned about Michael Jackson. And finally, we've learned about Diana Ross.
In March of 1944, Diana Ross was born. She was born in Detroit, Michigan.
In April of 1974, Diana Ross became the first African American woman to co-host the Academy Awards.
In 1976, Diana Ross was named Female Entertainer for the Century by Billboard.
In 1978, Diana Ross starred in The Wiz. She starred as Dorothy.
In 1988, Diana Ross is inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the Supremes.
In 2012, Diana Ross received a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award.
And that's what we learned about Diana Ross. Thank you so much for allowing us time to come and share what we learned with you this evening. And thank you to our wonderful Adrian second graders. You guys did a fantastic job.
Before our students and families leave, I just want to recognize that's a lot of work to research that information, and we as adults sometimes have difficulty speaking in public, and I think they did a really great job. So we also want to recognize what great public speaking they did as well. So let's give students great researchers and public speakers. So we appreciate your time. We know that there's still daylight and it's nice outside, so we're going to let you enjoy that as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're going to look up.
Need some sunglasses in here.
I know, really.
That's a good complaint though for March. That we need sunglasses in here. That's a good complaint for March.
Yep, that's nice. All right.
Ready? Get yourself together. We can give them a chance if you need to.
So we're not going to let the rest of them stay. We're going to
Into
session.
it.
And they don't need to stay. He's all right. What happened? You're not going to separate you two?
You did.
Thank you, Jesus.
I'm gonna make it 6:01, just because you said 5:59.
It's always the two of them.
Goodness.
It's springtime. All of you are having fun there. That's okay.
Thank you, Mr. Lasky. Thank you.
Absolutely great work.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Karl.
All right.
If you guys behave, I'll let you go home early.
We'll go, We do have a need for a brief executive session this evening, so we will let the public know that is here. We are going into executive session for purposes of personnel.
Yeah, compensation in a sense. Yeah. So
A.
Reason A, may we get a motion to go into executive session? It is now 5:57.
So moved. Second.
Was that Ashley and Crystal? All right, so we will be going into executive session. We will not be taking any action. We will come back to reconvene the meeting and close down the actual board meeting.
Yep.
So
That's good.
I guess you all are free to go. We don't need you all.
Yeah, you don't need to stay. Go ahead.
Enjoy
Thank you for
the,
behaving.
enjoy the sun
I did say with possible action.
Say with us.
with possible action?
Yeah, with possible action.
Okay. With possible action,
I think that's what I heard.
okay.
With possible action.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Go ahead.
Shabuya roll.
This is the,
All set? All right, we are back reconvening into open session at 6:29. I'll wait for you, Josh, so you can write.
these are the items you'll be walking on.
Oh, the consulting agreement.
I think everybody got them in the email, and then this is the resolution to leave.
Oh, yeah,
Suburban.
this you said this morning. Got it.
Pass it down.
Yep. We have plenty. Merci. Page 1 of 9. Oh,
He's going to sleep.
page 3 of 9, okay.
But that's all the same.
I bet he is.
When you close up stuff, you get to sleep better. I slept like a baby last night.
For the first time in how long?
No melatonin. No melatonin. All right, now we've got here, we'll reconvene back to open session at 6:29. Do we need a motion for that, Mr. Hill?
No.
We do not.
We just come back in, that's 6:29, you said?
Yep.
Yep.
And then,
Go right into item 5.1.
and then recommend for approval the two items I have placed in front of you, the resolution to withdraw from the Suburban Health Consortium through non-payment of premium effective April 1st, 2024. And then also the consulting agreement between Gallagher Benefit Services and the district.
All right, may we get a motion to approve those items into 5.1, number 1, number 2 from Mr. Hill?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Falkenberg? Any questions or comments?
I just want to say, all I can think of is Gallagher, who used to pound the watermelon and stuff.
I didn't think about that.
So I'm glad this is a different Gallagher.
Having no questions and comments, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Ms. Lee?
I was about to say so moved. Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Mrs. King?
Aye.
Mrs. Shelby?
I do believe those are the only items we have here, would you say?
Correct. Yep, that's it.
Oh, I thought you said something else. Having nothing else. May we get a motion to adjourn? It is now 6:32.
So moved. Second.
And Ms. Falkenberg? All in favor?
Aye. That's the only.
Thank you all for joining us this evening. That concludes our work session tonight.